Today's study is in Exodus chapter 2, which is an exciting and important chapter. And we meet Moses, who is the hero. He's the star. He's the man. He's going to be the man for a long time now. And we get his origin story, which is all significant in ways like Jesus' origin story is significant. And we see all the things that his mom, in particular his mom, Hebrews will say both of his parents are involved in caring for him. But the book of Exodus is celebrating the women, Pharaoh's daughter, Moses' sister, Moses' mom. So we see how he is saved from the death sentence of the Pharaoh, floats down the river in the basket, is taken in by Pharaoh's daughter. So he's gone into Mordor. He's gone right into the belly of the beast, and he's going to be raised there. We see how his mom is going to care for him initially, but then how he is going to be adopted. He's going to become the grandson of the king of Egypt. And he's going to receive this incredible training that the best education anybody could get in all kinds of things will prepare him to lead. And then we have three stories that are told about him that are again, these stories have been selected so we better understand Moses and we see the flow of what God is doing. And the first one, he intercedes on behalf of a slave that is being beaten, and he ends up killing the taskmaster. The second story is where he tries to break up a fight between two Hebrews, the two Jewish slaves that are fighting, and he discovers that people know that he killed the taskmaster, so he flees. And then the third is where he is in Midian. He's fled to get away from Pharaoh, who would kill him for advocating for a slave. He goes to Midian, and there he meets Jethro and Jethro's 7 daughters. He has an interaction where he's got to fight some bullies at the watering hole, and then he is going to marry one of Jethro's daughters, and he's going to spend the next 40 years working as a shepherd, which is a very bad job. You don't want to grow up to be a shepherd. Something has gone wrong if you grow up to be a shepherd. Not if you own all the sheep and you have people working for you, that in that sense. But if you're an adult and you are working as a shepherd, then you have one of the worst jobs out there. It's lonely, it's boring, it doesn't pay well, you have no rights, it's just bad. So he's going to spend the next 40 years doing that. And then we noted that the cries of the people go up to God, and so we're getting ready for God to now call Moses. That's going to be in a couple weeks. We're going to look at that passage in Exodus chapter 3. I then reflected on all the different takeaways that you could take out of Exodus chapter 2, noting that God often is preparing us for things that we don't see it at the time. Moses is uniquely prepared to lead lots of people in the desert because of what has happened. We see how there's often a message in the Bible that talks about waiting and extended periods of waiting. The Jews have been waiting a long time. There's a bunch of different things that we see in this. I suggested that there's an observation to identifying your holy discontent. For Moses, it's a certain thing. I shared for me, it's a different one. Then talked about the idea that we need to be humble, and humility is something that we see in Jesus, and humility is something that we get called to. And the text then, in a third way, suggests that we may suffer for doing the right thing. There's so much here. I hope you have a great study wrestling with Exodus chapter 2.